I was recently asked by one of my NLP training clients about how I use neurolinguistic programming to cope with death. Many of you may not know, but a few years ago I lost my youngest brother, and I personally had to deal with death head on. And there's an interesting thing about life, which is that, well, eventually we are going to die. So that's just basically a fact of life in this mind-body system. We're not going to make it out forever. And on top of that, if we live long enough, either one of two things is going to happen: is that we are going to die, or everybody else around us is going to die first. All of the people that we love and care about and know. And so really both of those things are going to happen. The question isn't if they're going to happen. The question is which is going to happen first, you or everybody that you know. And so this makes it really important for us as human beings to develop healthy coping strategies, at the very least to be accepting of death, and beyond that to even begin to appreciate and see the sacredness ultimately in this whole life-death cycle. So in today's video, I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I normally do, which is I'm going to share with you a clip from a brief conversation that I had with one of my training students, giving him some advice about how I personally have coped with death in my own life. And hopefully in that clip, there's some things that you can take away and use for you. Some of the techniques and things that I share in that clip, I learned from Dr. Michael Hall, some from Steve Andreas, another big name in the field of NLP. And all of the things that I share are things that I have used with myself to cope with death, and also things that I use in myself on a regular basis. So if you're interested in learning how you can better deal with the loss of things, to deal with grief and to deal with death, then you're in the right place, and enjoy today's video.
I'm a human being.
Yeah, so first one is if you ever kind of find yourself feeling sad, or feeling grief or feeling loss, it's okay. I give myself permission to feel sad and grief and loss because I'm a human being and it's my God-given right to feel emotions, to feel sad, to feel loss. That's okay. I give myself permission to. It's okay. Yeah. And that will just allow the emotion to flow and come and go, rather than bringing negative emotions. I'm not allowed to. I reject it. I'm prohibiting feelings. I'm not allowed to. No, it's I give myself permission to feel sad. It's my God-given right to feel all of my emotions, and I'm a human being, and I give myself permission to feel sad. So when those come up, and you can also meditate the sadness with other emotions. It could be a calm sadness. It doesn't have to be an out of control sadness. It could be a calm. It could be a respectful sadness. It doesn't have to be a blubbering. It doesn't have to be a. It doesn't have to be a self-denigrating sadness. It can be a self-affirming and respectful sad. So bringing any sort of resources to the sad, I give myself permission to feel sad, and I could bring even some resources to my sadness to make it calm and make it controlled sadness and a loving sadness, a respectful sad. So that's one thing. If any movies come up that are unresourceful, maybe memories of guilt, things I should have done, things I could have done, or movies of like, let's say, funeral or anything like that that's related to like the death, give yourself some distance from those. Step out of them first off if you're in them. Give yourself some distance so you can kind of look at it from a meditative of calmness and from a curiosity to learn. And then learn what you need to learn from that. And then you can put those movies away. You don't need those anymore. You just need, those are coming up so that you can learn, so that you can grow as a spiritual, your soul can learn and grow for your next leg of your journey. And that's part of seeing the blessing in the, in the screen here, you see, seeing the sacredness of the death, of the loss there. And then the last thing I'll say now, because my client's here in the waiting room, is when you do represent her or anyone who you've lost, to, instead of keeping them far away and up and high and away and glowing, right? Bring them close to the point where you can hold them, you can hold their hand, you can talk to them if you need to talk to them, you can have conversations with them, you could still get advice from them, and you look at them through the resourceful lens of all the blessings that you've had and all the learnings that you've had. Because they're still here, they're still with you, in you, and as long as you encode them in resourceful ways, and that would be the most respectful thing you could do for them anyways, and it's probably what they would want you to do too. They would probably want you to get up, get on with your life, and to be the most resourceful, self-actualized version of yourself that you can.
Dude, you're great. Thank you so much. That was great.
Hey, So I hope you found that clip valuable, and I hope you found at least one nugget, if not more, that you can use to apply to yourself or with your loved ones or with your clients to help us as human beings better deal with the fact of life, which is loss. Of course, that list was not comprehensive, so if you have any other practical techniques that you would like to share to add to this to help us to better cope with loss and death, then feel free to share it in the comments or to send me a private message. If you have any questions about how to apply these kind of big chunk ideas that I share in that clip, then feel free to reach out to me personally and ask me a question, or of course leave it in the comments. And if you know anybody who could benefit from this video, feel free to share it along with them. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jason Schneider. I'm the founder of the Perception Academy, and I work with coaches, leaders, and personal developers to unleash the highest and best of human potential using cutting-edge psychological models such as neurolinguistic programming and neurosemantics. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your life, and I hope that you can apply what you know so that you can better cope with loss and death, and even to thrive in life and to see the sacredness in it. Have a great rest of your day and take care.